You know how we've always been told that to lose weight, you gotta eat less and exercise more? Well, what if that's completely wrong? In this explainer, we're diving into a strategy that totally flips that idea on its head. It suggests that the real key to breaking through a weight loss plateau might actually be to eat more. I know, it sounds wild, but stick with me, because the science behind it is absolutely fascinating.
All right, so let's just jump right into the big question. Could loading up on things like pasta, rice, and even bread actually be the secret to hitting your weight loss goals? For so many of us, carbs are basically public enemy number one when we're dieting. But what if we've been looking at this whole thing the wrong way?
So this whole philosophy is the brainchild of Dr. Hao-Xiao Chiqian. He's a weight loss specialist who basically argues that our obsession with restriction is the very reason so many diets are doomed to fail. His approach isn't about starvation, it's all about strategy. It's about learning to work with your body's natural systems, not constantly fighting against them.
Okay, first up, let's talk about a problem that I'm willing to bet a lot of you know all too well. I'm talking about the weight loss paradox. You know, that incredibly frustrating place where you're doing all the right things, but you're getting the exact opposite of the results you want.
So does this whole song and dance sound familiar? You slash your carbs, and yeah, the scale moves down for a bit, and you're feeling good. But then, it just stops. It hits a wall. Dr. Xiao talks about a case study of a woman who was stuck at 60 kilograms. So what did she do? She started exercising even harder. And what did she get for it? Total burnout. She was exhausted, and that scale just would not move. This is the point where most of us just give up.
So, why? Why does this happen? Why does it feel like our own bodies are fighting us so hard when we're just trying to get a little healthier? Well, the answer is actually buried deep in our biology, in this powerful, ancient survival response. It's called survival mode. You see, when you dramatically cut your calories and carbs, your body has no idea you're just trying to look good for summer. It thinks there's a famine. Its number one job is to keep you alive, so it slams on the metabolic brakes and starts hoarding body fat like it's a precious fuel reserve. And this shift just wreaks havoc on your hormones. In this starved state, your thyroid hormone, which is basically the gas pedal for your metabolism, slows way, way down. At the same time, your stress hormone, cortisol, goes through the roof. This toxic combination sends a signal to your body to stop burning fat and start burning your hard-earned muscle for energy instead. Literally the exact opposite of what you want.
Here's a really cool way to think about it. Imagine your body is a super advanced hybrid car. Fat is like the efficient electric motor. It's perfect for low-intensity cruising, like taking a walk or just sitting at your desk. But carbs? Carbs are the high-octane gasoline. That's the fuel you need for high performance, like sprinting or lifting heavy weights. The problem starts when you try to hit the racetrack running on battery power alone.
Okay, so if restriction and starvation just backfire, what's the answer? Well, this is where we get to the core solution: carb cycling. It's a much smarter way to manage your body's fuel system instead of constantly being at war with it.
The whole goal here is to basically trick your body out of that survival mode. By strategically bringing carbs back into your diet, you're sending your body a loud and clear signal: hey, the famine is over. We have plenty of fuel. It's okay. This tells your metabolism that it's safe to start burning energy at full speed again. That one simple move can reboot the entire system.
So how does this actually work in practice? Well, it's structured around 3 different kinds of days. You've got your high-carb days to fuel your toughest workouts and give your metabolism a serious boost. Then there are mid-carb days for balance and steady energy. And finally, you have low-carb days, where your metabolism is already humming along, creating the perfect environment for your body to burn fat for fuel. The principle is just so simple. Match your fuel to your output.
Okay, so that's the theory. But what does this actually look like on your calendar for the week? This is where it all starts to click.
For most of us who are just trying to break through that stubborn plateau, Dr. Hao recommends what he calls a relaxed or sustainable approach. So something like this: maybe 2 high-carb days that you line up with your biggest workouts, 2 low-carb days for recovery and to maximize fat burning, and then 3 mid-carb days to just keep everything balanced. It's flexible, and most importantly, it's not extreme.
And what does a high-carb day look like? Oh, this is the best part. It looks amazing. We're talking toast for breakfast, a huge plate of spaghetti for lunch, maybe hot pot with a side of rice for dinner. The sources even say that after a really tough workout, the carbs from something like a bubble tea will go straight to refueling your muscles, not to fat storage. This is all about fueling your body, not feeling guilty.
Mid-carb days are all about that steady, balanced energy you get from whole foods. So think sweet potatoes, brown rice, or even something super convenient, like a rice ball from a convenience store. The key here is just pairing these healthy carbs with a good amount of protein and veggies to keep you feeling full and nourished all day long.
And don't for a second think that low carb means you're eating boring food. No way. You can have a big, hearty vegetable soup, a delicious seafood hot pot, just without the noodles, or a giant, satisfying salad loaded with protein. The focus is on protein and vegetables, which keeps you full while your body happily taps into its own fat stores for energy.
All right, so that's the food part, but this brings us to the other huge piece of the puzzle, exercise. Because if you're going to change what you eat, you also need to rethink how you move.
Now, before we get into the specifics of how to work out, it's really important to see why this fuel-focused approach is so different. If we compare it really quickly to another popular method, like 16-8 intermittent fasting, it becomes crystal clear. 16-8 fasting is all about when you eat, and that long fasting window can actually put you at risk for muscle loss. Carb cycling, on the other hand, is all about what you eat, specifically designed to protect that muscle and keep your metabolism fired up.
And this right here, this might be the most crucial thing to understand about the exercise part. Remember that hybrid car? Well, doing high-intensity training on a low-carb day is like trying to race with an empty gas tank. Your body quickly burns through its high-octane fuel. That's glycogen. And to get the fast energy it desperately needs, it starts breaking down your muscle tissue. You're literally burning away your strength.
So the solution is actually super simple and totally logical. You just align your workouts with your fuel. Save your heavy lifting and your high-intensity sessions for your high-carb days. Go for a light jog or a brisk walk on your mid-carb days. And on your low-carb days, just rest. Or do something really gentle, like yoga or stretching, keeping your heart rate low to make sure you're burning fat, not muscle.
But does this stuff actually work? Well, let's circle back to one of Dr. Hiao's case studies. There was a man who weighed 80 kilograms, was exercising every single day, and was completely stuck. By switching to carb cycling, cutting his workouts down to just 3 times a week, and eating more carbs on those days, he lost 10 kilograms in 2 months. Get this, less effort, more food, and way better results. It's wild.
So if you take one thing away from this explainer, let it be this. Real, sustainable fat loss is not about deprivation. It's not about punishing yourself in the gym for hours. It's about becoming a smart manager of your body's own fuel system. It's about listening to its signals and giving it exactly what it needs right when it needs it.
This entire approach just changes the game. It reframes the journey from this constant battle against yourself to a powerful partnership with your own biology. So the final question really is for you. Are you ready to finally ditch that frustrating cycle of restriction and start working with your body to achieve your goals?